Okay. Good morning, everyone. Today is Monday, February 26th. So today we will continue on sessions 8.2. You have your 8.2 hand out? Okay. I have a little bit coughing. So, yeah. Please take good care of you. Yes. In spring, it's very easy to get sick. Let's see. Okay. So, let's look at the chapter 8 formula sheet. So in this chapter, the graph is very important. We study the graph of all 6 trig functions. Yes, do you have this paper with you? Yes. So in section 8.1, we talk about sine and cosine. And sine and cosine, the graph shape is like wave. And the sine start with 0. The cosine start with 1. And each graph, we have 5 key points. And for sine and cosine, because the period is 2 pi, so those 5 key points is like spread over the 0 to 2 pi. So you see the theta, okay? Theta columns values are the same. There are 0, pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, and 2 pi. And then the y values, because your sine start with 0, and then you go up to 1 and go down 0, -1, go back up to 0. Yes, everybody? Those are the 5 key points. Remember those 5 key points. The cosine start with 1, and they go down to 0, go down to -1, and then go back up 0 to 1. Yes, everybody. So those 5 key points spread over the 0 to 2 pi interval. That sine cosine period is 2 pi. And then last time we talked about tangents and cotangents. Do you still remember the period for tangent and cotangents? The period was pi. Pi, yes. The period for tangent and cotangent are pi. So the 5 key points now are spread over an interval with length pi. And the tangent, the shape looks like an x cube, right? X cube like this. And those 5 key points spread over the interval from minus pi over 2 to pi over 2. That's why the x values or theta values now are minus pi over 2. This is minus pi over 4, okay? And then 0, pi over 4, and pi over 2. So those 5 key points now spread over the interval of length pi. And then, the shape looks like x cubed. So here we have a vertical asymptote. So when theta is negative pi over 2, we get undefined vertical asymptote. And then we have -1, 0, 1, and undefined. So the shape looks like this. And we have infinitely many copies of those. Yes, everybody? Still remember? And then cotangent. The cotangent, the shape is like you flip it this upside down, then it looks like this. But the period is still pi, but the interval now is from 0 to pi. Okay, everybody? From 0 to pi. We still have 5 key points spread over from 0 to pi. So they are 0, pi over 4, pi over 2, 3 pi over 4, and pi. Okay? And because the shape looks like this, then you know, we have a vertical asymptote here. So undefined, this is 1, 0, -1, and undefined. So every graph, remember those 5 key points. Today, we will do some exercise about the tangent and cotangent graph. And after that, we will learn secant and cosecant graph. Okay? And then in class, I will give you blank worksheets, and then you need to fill those out. Practice filling out those values. Okay, so today let's continue to do some examples. So we have this example, but I want to make the problem more challenging. Let's change it. Okay, so let's change the problem. Okay, so if you already take notes, please get another piece of paper. Then you can take the notes of the new one. Okay, so make the problem more challenging. Let's do y equals negative 1/2 tangent 3x plus pi and plus 4, something like this. And make it more challenging. Okay, so let's see. By the way, when you graph this type of function, also 2 methods. Method 1 is use the sequence of transformations. Method 2 is drawing the table with 4 columns. They are x, theta, and tangent theta, and then y equals, in this case, let's do a harder one. So it's now minus 1/2 tangent theta. Theta is the angle or argument. Okay, so we use the method 2. Construct a table with 4 columns: x, theta, tangent theta, and the y. And then the method is very similar to what we did before. We first fill out the theta column and we look at the graph. Remember those 5 key points? So you copy exactly the same 5 values of the theta and tangent theta column. So what's your theta column? Negative pi over 2, negative pi over 4. Yes, everybody? You still have this paper? Right? Copy exactly the same thing on the theta and tangent theta column. 0 pi over 4. And last one, pi over 2. Okay, everybody? So these graphs are the foundation, the basics. You're gonna memorize. After you memorize these, when you draw any types of tangent graph, draw the table. Your theta and tangent theta will remain the same. So what are the tangent theta values? Undefined, -1, and then 0. Yes, thank you. And then 1, undefined. Yes, very good. Okay, so you can write down the steps. Step 1, write down the theta column. Step 2, write down the tangent theta column. Okay, so yeah, remember what we are doing here. Next example is your turn to do it. Step 3, find the x values. In this case, theta. Look at theta. Theta is the angle. The argument is 3x plus pi. How do you solve for x? Yeah, so subtract pi on both sides. We get theta minus pi is 3x. Then what do you do next? Divided by 3. Yes. So we get x is theta minus pi over 3. So we find the relation between x and theta. Okay? We can use this relation to find the x column. So everybody ready up to this step? Yes, everybody? Okay, let's plug in different theta values. Here, theta is negative pi over 2. So minus pi over 3. So we plug in this formula. Theta is negative pi over 2 minus pi. What is negative pi over 2 minus pi? Yes, very good. This is negative 3 pi over 2. And divided by 3. Do you know the 3 cancel? Yes, everybody? The 3 cancel, we get negative pi over 2. So when you draw the table, intentionally make the x column more space because this is the theta and tangent theta, you just copy down the numbers. But the x column, you need to calculate. So leave more space for that. Okay, continue. Next one, theta, bless you, is negative pi over 4. And we plug in negative pi over 4 minus pi over 3. So everybody take notes. Do you have a piece of paper? If you don't bring your worksheets, take out a piece of paper and take notes on the piece of paper. Okay. What is minus pi over 4 minus pi? Minus pi over 4 minus pi? Negative 5 pi over 4. Yes, everybody? Negative 5 pi over 4 over 3. So, when you over 3, it's like the 3 is in the denominator. Yes, everybody? So, why is that? Because A over B over C over D is A over B times the reciprocal, which is D over C. Yes, everybody, look at me. Don't look at your laptop. Don't look at your phone. Look at me. Make sure you understand the process, and then you can do the next problem. Oh, thank you so much. All right. So, therefore, here, the 3 is like the C. The C is in the denominator. So 4 times 3 is 12. Yes. So this is 12. Right, everybody? Okay. And then continue. So next, we plug in theta is 0. So theta is 0 minus pi over 3. So it's negative pi over 3. Okay? Yes, everybody? Let me check. Everybody okay up to this side? Yes. The steps very important. We figure out the theta and the tangent theta column. Now we're working on the x column. Okay. Next, we plug in theta is pi over 4. subtract pi over 3. What is pi over 4 minus pi? Pi over 4 minus pi.
Negative pi.
Negative. Okay, think about it. The denominator, we want to have a common denominator. So, bless you. Yes, bless you. Negative 3 pi over 4. So negative 3 pi over 4. Over 3. Do you see the 3 cancel? We get negative pi over 4. Okay. Finally, pi over 2 minus pi over 3. What is pi over 2 minus pi? Negative pi over 2. And then over 3 is negative pi over 6. Let me wait for everybody finish this column. Next example. Yeah, write down the steps. How do we get those numbers? Okay. Next example, you will do it. Okay. And now we figure out the x column. Let's look at the y column. So the y, we plug in the tangent theta. Do you see this is undefined? Right? If you try to plug in undefined, what do you get? Undefined, you don't get a number, right? So this is undefined. Nice. And then when we plug in the negative one, see? The tangent theta replaced by negative 1 plus 4. What is that? This is like 4 plus 1/2. Plus. 4 plus 0.5. Yes, 4.5. And how about 0? Minus 1/2 times 0 plus 4 is 4. And how about 1? Yes, very good. That's 3.5. How about when you try to plug in an undefined number, you get undefined. Very good. Yes, everybody? We figure out the table. Yeah, so this is step 4. I hope when you solve the problems, write down the steps. So when you review the notes, you know, okay, which order. Okay? Because the common mistake is students put the theta values in the x column. That's wrong. Okay, everybody? The theta is fixed. Tangent theta is fixed, no matter what the formula is. But the x and y will change based on the problem. Everybody clear? So the order very important. Now we look at the x and the y values. We can sketch the graph. Look at the x. Do you see all the x values are negative? Yes. And which one is the smallest? Smallest. Okay, negative pi over 2 smaller or negative pi over 6 smaller?
Negative pi over 6.
Pi over 6? Smaller? Yeah, negative pi over 2 smaller. Because, okay, like 1/2 and 1 over 6. Which one is smaller? This one is shorter. But if you put a negative, then this will be smaller. I mean, negative is negative, more negative. But magnitude, if you just look at the magnitude, the distance between the number to the origin, this is smaller in magnitude. But you're talking about the sense of negative, which one is more negative? And it's negative pi over 2. Okay? So when you draw the picture, I know it's gonna be very negative, so I can put the S's like this, and I can put this is negative pi over 2. So when you design your X and Y S's, you can look at the numbers. So if your numbers is like, oh, it's between like 0 to 2 pi, then you draw more on the positive side. And then you know your biggest is 2 pi. But here, the smallest is negative pi over 2. Okay, so don't draw negative 2 pi. You don't need to. Okay, the smallest is negative pi over 2. Then, okay, so imagine this is negative pi over 2, right? And separate into 3 pieces. Then this piece will be negative pi over 2 over 3, which is negative pi over 6. Let's see if you can understand it. So, okay, maybe if I make it bigger, so that's negative pi over 2, that's negative pi. You know, this is negative pi. The negative pi over 6 is you divide this length into 6 pieces, right? Into 6 pieces, right? Pi over 6 is you divide the pi into 6 pieces, right? Mm-hmm. And then how about negative pi over 3? Negative pi over 3 is pi over 3. So you divide the pi into 3 pieces. Okay, so this guy will be negative pi over 3. Try if you can understand. Division. Pi over 2. What does pi over 2 mean? It's pi, you divide it into 2 pieces. Yes, that's pi over 2. Pi over 3. Pi over 3. You have the pi divided into 3 pieces. That's pi over 3. What's pi over 6? You divide it into 6 pieces. Right? How about pi over 4? Into 4 pieces. So pi over 4 will be in the middle between negative pi over 2 and the 0. Right? So, and now you continue. So the smallest is negative pi over 2. And then you increase. So actually this number is exactly between minus pi over 2 and minus pi over 3. You see that? Okay? The step size, the difference between every two numbers are the same. So therefore, that number, negative 5 pi over 12, is actually in the middle of negative pi over 2 and negative pi over 3. See if you can understand. Everybody look at me. Yes. So this number is in the middle between those two numbers. And then where is negative pi over 4? Exactly. Very good. So you see all those numbers is from the smallest, and then you get bigger, 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 increasing. All the numbers have the same step size. Step size means like the difference between every pair is the same. Okay, everybody? We get all the x values. Now look at the y values. They are between like around 4 here, yeah? If this is 4, let's put this as 4.5, and let's put this as 3.5. Okay. We are ready to draw the graph. Okay? By the way, we're doing a different problem. We're not doing the old problem. This is a harder problem. Okay, so let's plot. When x is negative pi over 2, we get a vertical asymptote. So we put a vertical asymptote here. Right, everybody? And then when x is negative 5 pi over 12, we get 4.5. So 4.5 is here. Okay? So 4.5 is here. So far, so good, everybody? All right, and then when x is negative pi over 3, we get 4. So 4 right here. Plot it. And then when x is negative pi over 4, we get the y is 3.5. So 3.5 here. And then when x is negative pi over 6, undefined, it means we have a vertical asymptote. Is that okay, everybody? So all of you get those points? Now connect them smoothly. So you kind of imagine the center of the graph is here. And then you connect these points and then approaching to the line, the vertical asymptote. And then here, connect this point and approaching to the vertical asymptotes. So connect it like this. So this is one copy of the graph. Is everybody okay with that? In the exam, I will ask you to draw 2 periods. So now you can imagine you copy this and paste. Okay, you can kind of see, okay, this is the midpoint right here. So then this will be here. And then the next number will be here. Next number will be here. Next number, kind of sketch. Then you can draw another period. So in the exam, you draw 2 periods of the graph. Is that clear, everybody? Okay. So this is the graph of tangent. Do we have amplitude for the tangent or cotangent? No, because it goes to infinity minus infinity. We don't have amplitude. But the period, what is the period? It will be the O period, okay, over the coefficient of x in the angle. The O period, I mean the period for tangent was what? 2 pi or pi? What's the period of the tangent graph? Pi. What's the coefficient of x in this case? 3. See, the coefficient of x is 3. Therefore, the period is pi over 3. Is that clear, everybody? You can also see this from the graph. Look at the difference. What's the difference between minus pi over 2 and negative pi over 6? The difference is also pi over 3. Okay, everybody? So this is the tangent graph. Any questions about the tangent graph? No? Okay, now is your turn to do the next example. Okay. So do the cotangent. Okay. So for the cotangent, your setup is x, theta, cotangent. So your values, your theta and cotangent theta values will be different. You still have this paper, right? Use those values as your setup. So everybody work on this? it's not this one. Here. Go down. The paper is down there also. Next to the exam. Here, so Alex think then so you find. So that's data. Like here, how do you yes, this is data. Yeah. And how do you get this? Is you set data plus 3x, right? And you solve x. So you subtract I and then divide by 3. And here your data is x plus 2. How do you solve x? Don't need to know because if you don't do it on 2x is more x. So just subtract. Just the line. Okay, so up here, subtract pi over 2. This is addition.
Oh,
So you subtract pi over 2. So, right? So this answer is supposed to help us. So yeah, make sure you do this one. Do you have 8.1 worksheets? Yeah, the 8.1 worksheets and what we recording during the notes. You don't need to check your notes and we figure out the data and you find it. Yeah. Now, I want you to take every time you see my notes change your notes. Here I put a data. Data is because I want you to know data is exactly with public numbers. And then you have this and you solve it.
there? Okay.
Yeah, very good. So that's the common denominator. Good. So here, when you solve for x, just subtract pi over 2. So it's not theta over that. It's theta minus pi over 2. Here is you have the line is not under the theta. This is add. You don't divide. This is not like this. Here you have a 3x, so then you divide both sides by 3. Here you have x, 1 times x, so don't divide by 3. It's just subtraction. Okay, so subtract this. So this number change.
Can you check the correct? Can you check this?
Okay. Yeah, both of you. Yes, I did it correct. Yeah, keep going. That's good. We're talking something big that is 0 here. Now we're talking thing that is
Every time.
How about this? I know a trick for that. The trick is don't type the pi. You type 1 over 4 minus 1. Yes. Then you just multiply by pi.
So you just put 1 like
Yes.
This is closer to 0. It's closer to 1.
Let's see. Oh, do you see it's negative?
Once it comes out, so
Mm-hmm.
okay. So that 3.
Let's see. So minus.
Oh, wait, minus, yeah, because you have it.
And you have
There it
minus.
is.
Oh, it's plus. It's plus.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it's plus. So,
Oh, yeah,
so
right.
it's just negative pi over 4. Yeah, I just think it should be in this.
I agree.
it makes my life so much easier.
Yes,
I can
yes.
actually do it on my calculator.
Oh.
It's like I don't want to just
Okay, so let's check our answers. Okay. All right. So first step. So you know how I wrote it. This is a long time ago. So right now I will write this is theta, and I will write this cotangent theta. And then for those 2 columns, you just copy down the numbers from the formula sheets. So remember those 5 key points? Your theta is from 0, pi over 4, pi over 2, 3 pi over 4, and pi. And then your x values is like this, right? It's from undefined, 1, 0, and -1, and undefined. Then how do you find the x? That is theta. So theta is x plus pi over 2. You solve for x. This is addition. So to get rid of that, we subtract. Okay? So subtract, Then this cancel, we get x is theta minus pi over 2. Yes, everybody? Then we plug in different theta values, and then we get these numbers. Okay? So some of you are not good at calculation of fractions. You can use your calculator. With some of your calculator, when you type the pi, it will give you a bunch of decimal. In this case, there's a trick. When you type in your calculator, you can not type the pi. For example, like here, okay, like this number, you're using 3 pi over 4. That's your theta minus pi over 2. Then in your calculator, you just ignore the pi. So you type 3 over 4 minus 1 half. And some of your calculator will give you what? 1 over 4. You see that, then you just put the pi up there. Okay, so you can use this trick, then you use your calculator. You don't need to calculate by yourself. After you find all the x values, the y values, see, this is 3 plus cotangent theta. Undefined, 3 plus 1. So 3 plus 1 is 4. And then 3 plus 0 is 3. And then 3 minus 1 is 2. And then when you plug in undefined, is undefined. Is everybody okay with the table? Everybody understand? Mm-hmm. So negative pi over 2 here, undefined. So put a dashed line here. And then we have negative pi over 4, which is here. Then we get 3.4. 4 is here. And then 0, 0, we get 3. And pi over 4 here, we get 2. And then pi over 2, undefined. So in the exam, I won't give you the grid. I like to draw my own graphic so I can design my x values and my y values as needed. So in the exam, I won't give you the grid. I think without the grid is better. So any questions about number 2? All good? Yeah? Do all understand? Mm-hmm. All right. So I want to remind you, for those of you get scores lower than 70 in exam 1, I hope to meet you every week. Okay, so every week, come to see me. So usually I'm in my office from 11 to 1:50 on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and also after 3:10. And then on Tuesday, Thursday, I'm in my office from 10 to 1:50. Okay. So everybody do number 3. So set up number 3, okay? So set up number 3. You get 4 minutes. You can set up, yeah? Set up number 3. So next class, we will look at the secant and tangent. Good. And then these numbers is the same as yeah.
like each question, and then you should do those just like
She has on every single one.
Yes, yes.
no, not to me. I just like to like because it is like that was in mine. And then I wrote words like I did you here or help. It's desperate. I didn't understand last unit, but now that it's a graph format, I know what it means. Like that makes sense with them.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do better with putting pictures.
Oh, yes, 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 right, right. So please continue to work on this problem at home. Next class, we'll start checking the answer right away. So next class, I hope you can do this problem at home. Next class, we check the answer. Promise? Promise? Do this problem at home. Next class, we will check the answers. Okay. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Did something.
Yay, that's good.